Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. All right, so today we have Suzanne Castle, who is a shepreneur coach who helps women entrepreneurs and business leaders spark innovative solutions and build thriving, sustainable strategies for growth. Suzanne is also a former Broadway dancer. We'll have to ask her about that. Who recently won a Stevie Award. And since suffering a traumatic fall on stage and overcoming a domestic violence situation, she has dedicated her life to helping individuals and professionals, especially women, harness the power of cognitive wellness to achieve their goals in business and home life. And today, Suzanne is going to be talking to us about how to ditch the chaos and build a sustainable business without burning out or selling your soul. So welcome, Suzanne.
I am so delighted to be here. This is going to be a very exciting conversation. Thank you so much for hosting me today.
Well, I'm excited to have you. And can you share a little bit about this transition from Broadway dancer to now, helping women with their businesses?
Well, I was a former entertainer. Let's just call it that. I think that's a bit better because I did stage things and movie things and TV things. And I think I came out of the womb wanting to be an entertainer. That's all I've ever wanted to be, as a singer, a dancer, an actress. My poor family had to watch me do shows from the time I could, start toddling around. And so I never wanted to do anything else. And so I poured all of my energy into that. And maybe your listeners understand that when you think it's one path, right? You do everything on the one path. And I was in a lift, in a show. My partner slipped on a whatever. It could have been sweat, it could have been wet spot, whatever, and valiantly tried to catch me and didn't. And so shredded everything in my right ankle and foot. And that was the end of that. No matter if I had surgery or not, that was the end of a professional dancing career. And so the word that we all learned during COVID was pivot, right? I can't use that word now because everybody groans, but that's what I had to do pretty quickly because I didn't know how to do anything else. And so I turned to what I did know, which was creativity, and really dove deep into what is it like to be a creative? What does that mean for the brain? And when everything is taken away from you, what do? You can throw a pity party for sure. And I did, like all the things, cookie dough, all the sad songs, all the things, or you decide this is the truth of it. And what do I get to do next? And so now I'm on a mission to really help women understand things aren't always going to work out for you. And when that is the truth of your situation, what choice do you get to make next? And helping people really make more effective decisions faster so that they can get to the next thing in a happier, more joyful, more well place to be.
Yeah, so there's a lot of coaches, especially, who get into it thinking it's going to be something and then it ends up being something else, right?
Sure.
And that quickly leads to burnout, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you talk a lot about burnout disguised as productivity. So how can a coach recognize whether they are, just doing the things they're supposed to be doing to move their business forward, or if it's actually a problem?
Well, I think we're taught busy, right? We love to wear busy as a badge. And the first thing to do is really just monitor your conversations. I think about this. I mean, this is what I do. I'm a productivity expert. I'm a strategic analyst, right? And still, I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, I can't. And as soon as I hear myself, I'm like, oh, stop that. Stop that. So if you're constantly busy, but you wake up the next day and never felt like you moved the needle the day before, that's a sign. That's a big red flag. You're stuck in that burnout loop, is what I call it. And so when you are doing more, but maybe you're earning less, that's another red flag. If you feel like you're over delivering every day, and this isn't just in business, maybe you're over delivering in life and relationships, or maybe you are undercharging and you're still exhausted every single day, another red flag. So I could go on forever, but we have a little bit of time here. So the truth is, I just want to say it's not always a mindset issue. And I'm really tired of the industry saying, get your mind right if you want to deal with burnout. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's
Hmm.
your model of life
Yeah.
and business. So if your
Yeah.
business requires you to be on 24/7, and let's face it, with social, like it's just hard to just separate yourself. A lot of us work from home. Like I'm in my home office, and it's hard to just shut the door and go away now. And world is just
Yeah.
not that way anymore. And so and when we're in that mode and we're like, "Ooh, I'm just barely breaking even," it just never feels sustainable, which is part of that burnout loop that we get in. And so when you're in that, it's almost self-sacrifice in disguise, and so structure in that moment is what really will serve you and not suck the life out of you. So what I'm trying to say is, first, if you're in those kind of red flag moments, the first thing to do is check structure. It's not, I need more sleep. It's not, I need supplements. It's not, I need a doctor. I mean, it might be, but first let's check the structure of everything to make sure your structure is helping you and not harming you.
Hmm. So I love that you are talking about you're doing more, but you're not necessarily earning more. I mean, we
Right.
have those times in our business where we are in growth mode, right? Where
Sure.
we're not necessarily seeing the income come in right away because we have to do the things before, right? But when it comes to protecting your energy while growing your income, what's the one system or routine that you think every coach or healer really needs to have in place?
Without a doubt, I call it a CEO schedule. That's what I would say. So treat you as the CEO. You are the CEO of your life first. You might also be the CEO of your business, but let's face it, we're all the CEO of our life, period. And that means time blocking your high energy self. So that might look like hours for, we hear about IPAs, the income producing activities, but it also
Yeah.
might mean clear boundaries. So clear boundaries around your family time, for example, when you are going to doom scroll, if that's your thing, or your Netflix binging, if that's your thing, right? You need to have your creative time. And when you're getting oxygen in your body, when you are recovering, that's just as important as when you're sitting down and doing your visioning and your emailing. And we forget that, right? But we're
Yes.
so busy doing the income producing activities that we forget that all these other things that we do are also CEO activities. And so the bonus that comes from that is when you think about the entire flow as CEO, you begin to automate things. And when you automate things and go, okay, every day I do this, every day I do that, every day I do this, then you come along with your work schedule around those things. And you will
Hmm.
find that the flow of your life gets easier. And believe it or not, it's counterintuitive, but your business gets easier. And I
Mm.
have a testimony to that. So your client onboarding gets easier, you make more money, and you will notice pretty quickly when your energy leaks happen. And when that's happening, it's really easy to start figuring out where your system needs to change quicker. And so you can put that system check on rinse and repeat. So what I say is so that your sparkle doesn't get swallowed, right? So pretty quickly, it's going to get swallowed up by everything else that feels urgent. But if you're doing this and saying, this is what I need to like function in the world, and that's not necessarily responding to every email, but that's the first thing that we go to. Instead, I need to move my body every day. Like that's what I need
Yeah.
to. I need to sleep. I need to eat healthy. Those are the first things that need to show up on your schedule, not the other way around.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that is a non-negotiable, I think, for living in the world today.
I love how you say recovery time because we think about recovery time as being like, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to, do weight
Yeah,
training and then I got to recover. But what
right.
you should be adding to your schedule is recovery time from the doing in your business as well.
Right. And that's different person to person, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a big champagne person. I make no complaints about that. So some of my best recovery time is sitting outside with my rescued boxers on my
Mhm.
patio with a glass of champagne, and I can sip on that for 2 hours. And I'm just sitting outside watching them play. For me, that's recovery. For someone else,
Mhm.
you're reading a good book. It might be taking a bubble bath. I mean, so recovery looks different person to person, but I promise you, recovery is not doom scrolling or looking at a blue screen because of what it's doing to your
Mhm.
recovery is unplugging in some way. It might be going to the gym, but that's different for me. Like that's activating body and energy. but recovery is absolutely crucial for showing up in energy. And so if you're not moving the needle, I would start looking at recovery in your schedule and making sure that you've got time blocks for that.
So when you talk about the CEO schedule, what does this sustainable success actually look like in a daily practice?
Well, for me, I think it looks like focused action and not really frantic motion. So I think we could all think right now of someone, and maybe you're the someone, like if you're listening right now, maybe you're the someone. But we all can think of someone, a friend or a biz boss bestie that runs around all the time looking like the frantic person. And sustainable success is never that. Sustainable success is built by making one aligned decision at a time. And that means you have to have the
Yes.
courage to stop doing the things that aren't working, even when
Mhm.
they're trending. And that's so hard. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick my one offer. I'm going to pick this platform, even if someone says it's dead. And I know how to use it. So I'm going to do that because it's easiest for me. I already know how to do it. Right. Or I'm going to pick
Mhm.
this one audience, whatever it is, build that system around that and put all your energy there. So sustainable momentum is kind of like compound interest, right? It stacks constantly. So you don't need to be everywhere, let's say. You just need to be consistent somewhere that matters. So if you're not paying attention to the mattering, you're not tracking that with data, then yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going here, I'm going there. And nobody knows where to look. Nobody knows what you're doing. And your messaging looks really messy and scattered. And so then absolutely no one's going to pay attention to you. And you are going to look like that person that's just freaking out, running from thing to thing. And no one's going to know what you actually do and what to pay attention to. And when you're trying to sell something, then you're not going to sell anything because everybody's like, well, yesterday she was over here or selling that or this, and now she's pushing an affiliate thing over here. No one knows what to pay attention to. So think about it from the perspective of someone else. What do they need to be paying attention to and where? And then pour your energy there. So aligned,
Right.
slowly, securely, and safely at a time will just help you out so much better than
Mm.
everything all the time in all the ways.
Right. So doubling down on things that feel in alignment for you,
Right.
programs that feel in alignment for you, and ways to get yourself out into the world in front of people that feel in alignment as well.
Absolutely. And that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think we know who those are. And if you're listening and you're not really sure who those are, that's okay. I would ask people you trust. Say, who do you think responds to me best? That's a really
Mhm.
easy way to say that. Or how would you describe me in 3 words? And then with the rise of AI, you could put it in your favorite platform, right? Where, this show's not sponsored by any platform, so I'm not going to name but but you could easily put it in your favorite platform and go, these are words people use to describe me. What kind of audiences resonate with those words? And you can
Yeah, I
begin
love it.
quickly to find ways to really resonate in spaces and then just start showing up in those places. And it might not be online, by the way. So I love to tell a
Mm.
story where my thing is called the sparkle factor. That's my signature framework. And so I usually have on sparkles somewhere, or like today I have a sparkly pillow in the background. And
Yes.
I go to Costco, right, routinely, and there is a checker there that every time I walk in, she says, hello, you're the sparkle woman. You're like a little disco ball every time you come into Costco. She can't remember my name. I don't know her name. But when she sees me, she knows I'm the sparkle person, right? That's what I'm talking about. So she knows nothing about me except that. And I will take that all day long because that means my messaging is working. I make her smile. She makes me smile. People turn around and look at me. They're like, who is this person? I can start a conversation in line. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not always I'm showing up in the disco ball forum on Facebook. That's not what I'm talking about. So really just start paying attention to where that is and your life will get a whole lot easier.
Excellent. I love that. So, Suzanne, I know that you have a goodie to share with everyone. Can you share that with us and where they can get it?
Sure. The best place is my website. So Suzanne Castle, like a princess, just my name, SuzanneCastle.com. Because if you go there, there is a section of freebies and there's always 3 or 4 there. So you can go and pick what you want. whenever you want. So there's things about self-care, there's things about overwhelm, there's ways to make decisions. I love to give away free things. There's free trainings on there as well. So go in, check it out, play around on there, get what you need and get out. So, because life is too busy, right? We just talked about that, but you don't have to be busy. So get what you need, get out, implement something today, because you are too wonderful to stay stuck. That's what I think. And so find something that works, implement, and do it again.
Beautiful. So can you share with us one nugget that you would like us to take away from this conversation?
Sure. I think that stuck is never a destination. And so what I would implore everyone to think about is, if you find yourself using that word or thinking that, like, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, then you know what? Your brain, your body are like, yep, you're right. You're stuck. And you will not find a way out of your situation, because your brain's like, yeah, we're going to show you all the ways that you're stuck. So instead say, wow, this feels super hard. This feels like there's not a way out, but I bet I can find a way. Just shifting that right there, you tell your brain, oh, let's see if we can find a way. That's little subtle shift. Our brains are beautiful, creative creatures if we will just use them in that way. So when you are feeling stuck, like you don't know a way, simply say, not really sure I know a way, but maybe I can find one. And just spend some time thinking of a way, even if it feels really strange, or you may not have the funds, or it feels crazy town, doesn't matter. As soon as you like turn on that imagination part of your brain will begin to create new neural pathways. And when it creates new neural pathways, then you can begin to unlock a different way to be. And that's what you need to get out of stuff.
Beautiful. The sparkle with the brain science. I love it.
That's right.
Thank you
so much for having
much.
me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We will definitely be having you on again. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. It's the name of the podcast.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward, bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you on our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.